Stage 12 of the Tour de France, 222 kilometers from Saint-Etienne-Mende in the Lozère region. The race leader Miguel Indurain, 2.5 minutes ahead of the Swiss Alex Zula and 6 ahead of the Dane Bjarne Riis. It's the 14th of July in France, Bastille Day. The French dreaming of seeing a French rider winning a stage on the national holiday for the first time since Vincent Barteau in 1989. Over to David and Stephen.
The Tour de France on this stage 12 from Saint-Etienne-Mende, coming 222 kilometres in all. On the front now, Laurent Jalabert looking for a stage victory for France on this Bastille Day. And the race really exploded apart at the seams after only 24 kilometres have been covered. So if they stay away this little group now, they'll have been in the lead for nearly 200 kilometres on a route which has taken the riders through the massive Centrale. It covers about 1/6 of France, by the way, this part of the woods. It's a bit southern rather than central, but it's enormously massive, I can tell you that. It's got a nice highland region between the Loire and the Mediterranean, and they've been going up and down all day today. And Stephen, you were saying that these roads are a bit hard to ride on. Could you just explain that, the surface they're going over? Because people don't understand the difference in certain road surfaces for riding a racing bike.
Well, you have the road here, for example, in front of us here on the airfield has very, very small, fine tarmac on it. So it means the wheels and the hard tires go over very, very smoothly. But in these small roads here, the tarmac are big stones, like, so it's much heavier grade tarmac. So it means it makes it very, very hard. You're kind of pushing the bike all the time. Even when you're going downhill, you still get the impression that there's something holding you back. But the worst thing about these roads here is, which is worse for the group, but which is a good thing for the breakaway group, is the roads they're never flat and they're very, very twisty and turny. So that will help a small group in the front, like Jalabert. You see Jalabert here getting some instructions here from his team manager, team director sportif. But this kind of road suits a group like Jalabert because there's a small group. Himself and Maori are the only two working in the group, so they can just keep doing bit and bit, and whether it goes up and down, roundabout or whatever, they can still maintain a certain momentum. Whereas the group that are chasing behind, the road is very narrow, as you can see here. It gets narrower as we get into the final Grand Prix of the Mountains prize, but it means that a big group behind will find it more difficult in getting organised, meaning that you might have 2 or 3 riders in the front, and before they can be relayed, it means they must really pull over to the side so that anybody can come past. So it makes it to the advantage of a small breakaway group, but at the same time, this group here now have been away for so long, they're going to be very, very tired. But at the same time, the boys here in the back here, the Bonestas, as you can see here, are starting to weaken as well. They're getting the helping hand now from the Giwis, Balan team. The Carrera team have put a rider in there as well, but at the same time, the gap is coming down, but very, very slowly.
And running in on this road, some of the roads are quite right. These little stones make it very slow. Remember time trial, of course, that in Cheshire, which is very flat. These would be very slow because they had the same thing, stones, and when you rode on them, it was just like dragging the wheels instead of flying across. But I certainly noticed in parts of this course today, Stephen, they've gone out and actually relayed the road. So one thing, if you want your roads relayed, get the Tour de France to come locally.
Well, that's a good thing on the going through towns, but some of these roads at the middle of the country where they have actually redone the road, the tarmac because of it being so hot over the last few days, the tarmac is very soft. So it's actually, it looks very good, it looks very smooth and what have you, but there's no, for tarmac to actually be a fast tarmac it has to be kind of aged a little bit, whereas the tarmac on some of these roads today in the middle of the mountains is very, very soft, because it's very, very new.
And I saw this morning Jester Skibby, who actually put on a special set of wheels today, and he got some smooth tyres on, smooth as a baby's bottom. They were absolutely amazing. And I said, hey. He said, well, if it rains, I'm in trouble. He said, if it's dry, I'll be okay. And he got a brand new alloy Gazelle bike as well. I've never seen one like that before, because they normally ride on steel bikes. So he was looking to do a ride today, but he missed this break, which went away after 24 kilometres. Another man I was talking to this morning, Bo Hamburger, who's got his wife down here at the race as well, together with the parents as well. He was also looking for a ride today, but this breakaway group caught everybody by surprise.
Well, it did really, but this morning in the village, everybody was saying, oh, this is going to be a day for backmarkers, for boys down the back of the field who are not too well placed on GC. But at the same time, like for the first 20 kilometres this morning, the first 20 kilometres when these boys started attacking, there was bodies everywhere. So the guys that are in the group here in the front are the guys that had the legs. Anybody that's not here hadn't got the legs, because this morning in the village, like, everybody was saying it's going to be a group going, we're going to be in it, we're going to watch for it and everything else. And this group here, before that actually got organised, we had Jalabert in front with a Colombian, with Borahara, I think it was, he's in front. They're 15 seconds ahead. Indurain was riding behind them. Then there was a group then with Brunel, with Miko Indurain, which only got within 15 seconds of Jalabert. Then another group got across then with Chiri Mari and Armstrong, but they couldn't catch Jalabert. So there was a lot of groups went away. They had a lot of occasions, a lot of opportunities to get across to the group, and they didn't get across. So this group today just didn't ride off the front. And of course, you can imagine Jalabert being in green. Miguel Indurain didn't just kind of turn his head the other way and said, "Okay, we'll see you later." Like, he didn't want guys like Jalabert going away, especially when he had two teammates like shortly after him. He had Maori getting up to him. Then he had Neil Stevens. So I mean, there was three onsies for a moment, for a time, with including Jalabert.
So if you're joining us on Eurosport, looking down there in the pink jersey at the front, that is Maori trying hard to keep that distance between Jalabert and the yellow jersey as far as he can do. Malcolm Maori doing a great ride. He wears number 65 in his back. You can see the cameras go on. If he's in the pink, he's 12 minutes 49 seconds down on general classification in 8th spot overall. This is the Gavis colours in the pale blue then, and that rider in there, Bataro, number 13. Maybe unlucky for him, perhaps he might get the stage. This is the man I'm talking about just now, Maori, belting away at the front, followed there by Jalabert in the green jersey, 61. Then going through is Bataro, and just behind him, Perron for the Motorola team. Patanzana is also in there at the moment, but the one man has been blasted out the back of this one, Neil Stevens, who rode so hard for his team captain, and the Benessos are burying themselves here. These men really, if they get Indurain back closer than the last time check we got, which was just over 8 minutes, they certainly will earn themselves a few bob tonight. Just under 8 minutes, 7:59.
You can see now the road here now it's gone very small. It's very twisty and turny. So you see what I was saying earlier on, the bunch are all on one line here, so it doesn't actually help. The fact that it's a big group chasing behind the breakaway group doesn't help them really, because the breakaway group are riding one by one, and these here are also riding one by one. So when a group like the peloton only goes fast when the riders can relay each other very, very quickly. But as these roads here are very, very twisty and turning for the next 15 kilometers, so it means that it'll be very difficult for them to bring down time. But at the same time, the guys in the front are going to be very, very tired, so they will bring back time. But 7 minutes 59 seconds I think will be too much.
And those who are watching us live on Eurosport in this afternoon, welcome to the sun-kissed countryside here. We've been through some delightful parts of the world. We actually came through a place called Lanyon, around by the lake, as we seem to have more problems at the back here. And I'm sorry we came on. In fact, that's Roux. He crashed earlier on.
Sorry.
He clashed. If you watch his shoulder here, you can see some dirt on his shoulder. He completely lost the bike, round about the lake of Lanyon, and down he went in an almighty bang, and I don't think he's got his back wheel really sorted at the moment, and surely Mavic must try and help him out here.
He's got a small pedal, I don't know what it is. He bounces back wheel around, so maybe the chain is maybe jumping maybe.
That's one of the problems with these index gears, isn't it? If you don't get the same back wheel, I mean, most of them are supposed to be exactly the same dimensions, but it may be just that little bit, that fraction out.
That's why you always prefer to have your wheel from your team car, because even though one could be Campagnolo, the one Mavic and one Sachs and one Shimano, what have you, even though they are 8-speed blocks, there's always little something different between one and the other, even though they may look the very same. So nobody likes getting a wheel from the Mavic service, but at the same time, when you know no choice, you're better having it than going home on a flat tire.
And here they go then, the 5 men that set the race alight today. Now thanks go out to the good people of Lanyon, who put a little bit of celebration out there for the press going through, and they gave us an aromatic aperitif called a Hypocras, the authentic boisson of the Renaissance. Goes back to the Middle Age. A bit fizzy, but it was rather pleasant this afternoon. It's been a great day here on the big national holiday in France. The Bastille Day celebration will be going full tilt in Paris. We'll be finishing there on the Champs-Élysées on Sunday week, and again the whole town will be, or the whole city will be en fete. And will that man in the green jersey be in yellow? Well, you've got to watch Eurosport right the way through to find out. We bring you the live action here, and Jalabert today has really set the whole field. I'm sure today with, what's that, just some 20 kilometres to go now, this little breakaway group should stay away with a cracking and very difficult and very painful and a very surprising climb up the finish at Mende to this airport strip, where we're sitting here waiting with bated breath to see if these 5 men can really stay away. They should do, shouldn't they, really? But that last climb's a bit of a backbreaker.
Well, the 5 of them will not stay away because, like, the Maori has been riding it very, very hard, so is Jalabert. They're riding for GC, they're not actually riding for the stage. But then you have Perron, who's a very good rider. The finish will suit him. And then we also have Porenzana and Bartaio from the GWS Balan team. They haven't been riding very much, but they're chasing, trying to bring the time down, because if they keep going, like Bruno Rees is third at 6 minutes, and Maori and Jalabert is 9 minutes. So if Jalabert keeps going the way he's going, he will take over the 3rd place from Rees. And that's what I've been afraid of all along, is that people will start riding for 3rd, 4th, 5th place.
The gap now 7 minutes and 38 seconds, confirmed on our screen then, 25 kilometres ago. 7:38 was the gap then, as they're getting toward the back end of this race now. There's still a breakaway group, then 5 men left for the 6 that started early this morning, and the last time check was 7:38. A lot of great action coming up on Eurosport. Half minutes now. It was at one time 10 minutes and 45 seconds back to the yellow jersey, and lots more riders now are coming up from different teams to start putting the pressure on the front. Novell now looks like a foregone conclusion that little breakaway group's going to stay away. So why chase down now? They want to get Abdul Jabbar in, admittedly, to try and close the gap on the green points jersey of Jalabert, but they can't close 7.5 minutes up. They may get very close to it. So why aid the yellow jersey?
Well, you know, I don't know whether there could be some kind of an arrangement in there, but at the same time, if nobody should come crying to me at the end and say that, well, Miguel was so strong that he won it and this, that and everything else. If they're going to give him a hand, like you have, like the GWS Balan team riding here for Rees, who is in 3rd place, 6 minutes down on GC, and they have Gotti also at 8 minutes 20 down. So they're defending the 3rd place and the 5th place on GC. But like, if they keep going the way they're going, if they make Miguel's team ride harder, they might be able to even attack Miguel in the finish, and maybe even, why not even blow Miguel out?
Yeah, well,
like, you have to play it.
Why defend 2nd, 3rd and 4th at the moment? Let him fry, isn't
That's
it?
it.
And then
yeah.
Next day attack.
Exactly. Get him, wear him down day in, day out. Just keep do wearing down process. But just looking at the GC sheet here as well, and people were saying the ONSA team is very strong and what have you, but there's an incredible atmosphere in the ONSA team at the moment. When you see Maori, who is an ex-Tour of Spain winner, he is some 12 minutes 49 seconds down on GC, and Jalabert is 6th place, 2 places ahead of Maori at 9 minutes 16 seconds. And look at the way Maori is riding here, driving in front of the bunch here for Jalabert. He's sacrificing his own chances on GC. He could finish in the first 10 on GC, no problem. Look at the work he's doing for Jalabert here today. It's incredible to have a teammate like that willing to sacrifice himself for a leader. Neil Stevens is saying, Neil Stevens was there earlier on, but Neil Stevens, of course, is way down on GC. But Maori, being very well placed on GC, an ex-Tour Spain winner, riding like this for a leader such as Jalabert is a great sign of team spirit.
16 kilometres yet to go then in this race. There's just 10 miles left for this breakaway group. The last time check we have is around about 7 minutes and 38 seconds back to the yellow jersey. We're not trying to knock Miguel Indurain, by the way, all your great support of him. We like to see a good, hard-fought race with tactics being worked out, don't we, Stephen? And this is great this man's gone away. Jalabert is prepared to go for nearly 200 kilometres to try and challenge that yellow jersey, and other teams are interfering now. It should be one man against the other, shouldn't it, surely?
Well, I think everybody will agree. Since the Tour de France started 10 days ago, every day we've had great super racing. We've had every team working individually. We've had leaders doing their job. We've had second leaders doing their job for their leaders. We have an incredible race and incredible tactics here. Now we have, for the first time in the race, we have somebody like the likes of Jalabert, who is very well placed on GC in 6th place, contesting the yellow jersey of Miguel Indurain, and also, of course, the 3rd place of Rees, and then the 5th place of Gotti. But at the same time, like the tactics so far, nobody has been defending their place. Everybody has been defending and trying to get higher than Miguel Indurain. So it's incredible to see today. It's a bit of disappointing really, as you see Neil Stevens here on the back, probably about to get caught by the main group. So I wonder will Neil be able to stay with the main group after giving so much of his own energy to stay with and to ride with Jalabert in the front.
Well, I just saw Vincent Barteau behind us here, Stephen, and I thought that possibly we might have a quick word with him, you in French to him, just to get his feelings about the fact that Jalabert might be stage victor today and take that record off. We'll try and grab him shortly. I know that you have to translate his French back to the people back at home, but we'll try that one here. We've just got 10 miles to go, and I'm sure you good people at home would like to hear from Vincent Barteau, who had the yellow jersey, 14 days or 18 days, wasn't it, some time ago?
13 days.
Yep, and that's surprising. We've now got him back here. And Stephen is going to pose the questions in French. Come down here, Vincent, and just let's talk to him about this stage, which may yet go to Jalabert. Okay, Stephen, on you go.
Alors Vincent, ça fait depuis maintenant 6 ans maintenant que tu as gagné l'étape de Marseille le 14 juillet. Qu'est-ce que tu penses de l'étape aujourd'hui et les tactiques de Laurent Jalabert? Translate in English now, just asking Vincent, who won the stage in the Tour de France, as we were saying earlier on in 1989 on July 14th. I just asked him what he thinks of the stage so far today and the tactics of Laurent Jalabert.
Je crois que tout se déroule très bien pour Laurent. Je crois qu'il veut absolument remporter cette étape puisque, comme tout le monde sait, c'est un peu la fête nationale aujourd'hui. C'est vrai que pour moi, c'est pas très intéressant, mais en fait, j'espère qu'il va l'emporter quand même.
Vincent says that at the stage today, of course, he would like to keep the record of being the last Frenchman to have won the stage, but Laurent's doing a great job today. If he wins the stage today, well, it's great. He'll not begrudge it to him, but at the same time, he'd like to keep for another while. Et dis-moi, Laurent, avec le championnat aujourd'hui, tu penses que ça va aller au bout ou tu vois que l'équipe Anesto, avec l'aide des autres équipes, c'est normal ou qu'est-ce que tu penses?
Si l'échappée va aller au bout?
Yeah, just ask him what he thinks of the chance of the breakaway group staying away today and what he thinks of the tactics of the other riders.
Oui, non, l'échappée va effectivement aller au bout. C'est vrai que l'écart va diminuer, ça va diminuer, mais à mon avis, il va rester 4 minutes pour Laurent Jalabert. C'est un final qui lui va très très bien et à mon avis, il va remporter l'étape.
Yeah, he reckons that the stage today is going to be very, very hard for Jalabert. He hopes he can win it, but he says in his own opinion it's going to be very, very difficult for Laurent to win because he's riding so hard in the front here that there'll probably be one of the other guys will probably win. Merci, Vincent.
Thank you much indeed, Vincent. Good to have you here. He's very often a co-commentator for our French channel, and now having the benefit of Stephen Roche's superb French and Italian from time to time. As they're going on in here, then we've got Perron, the Italian, riding for the Motorola team. We had an English-Italian rider yesterday win the stage, and we know that a lot of people in England are Italians, Stephen. So let's have the other part of your languages and just a few words back to people at home in Italian.
Amici sportivi, buongiorno. Oggi una volta di più abbiamo un'etapa molto veloce, abbiamo il maglia verde qui avanti come Laurent Jalabert, 6 minuti 50 come vantaggio in fuga di Miguel Indurain, e spero che arriviamo al finale, spero che vincere Jalabert perché merita oggi questa vittoria, però dietro sono tanti corridori che lavorano in gruppo come le squadre del GWS, come squadre della carriera, lavorano molto per prendere questo gruppo.
Well, there we are then, a few words for our Italian listeners back in Great Britain, or anywhere else you might be listening to our programme live on Eurosport in the afternoon. Of course, we edit this down for the evening and early next morning. And let me then, Stephen wants to say something. Go on, Stephen, off you go.
Well, while we're there, I might say a word or two in English to some people listening to me at home. It was Jonathan,
Irish or English,
David, Peter, Quinion and George working out in Shankill. I know you've been listening to us for the last 2 days and finding our commentary great. So keep plugging in there. We keep plugging in for you. And it's not because Eurosport are bringing you live every day coverage of Tour de France that you stop working.
I hope their boss didn't hear that. Okay, we're on stage 12 then, Saint-Etienne-Mende, 222 kilometres. Let me put you in the picture, the first climb of the day. Thierry Marie was away, Armstrong was in second spot, and then Cubino went over in third. That was after 18 kilometres over the Col de Saint-Maurice-en-Gaujois. We then went on to the next climb of the day, the Côte de Malaveille. Over that one. The break had then formed. Batala was first, Jalabert second, Maori back into third spot. By the time we got to the fourth climb of the day, over the Côte de Valax, the gap had gone up to 10 minutes and 10 seconds. It's now back to 7:38. Paranzana led over that climb. Neil Stevens was second, Jalabert was third, but they were just pressing on with the attack. They went too well about the King of the Mountains points. We had a couple of sprints today. Jalabert has taken both of those two as well, so he's helped himself to another vital 12 points bonus in the in the battle for the green jersey, which at the moment he is dominating, and he's done a tremendous ride today. Jalabert undoubtedly, if you just think back now, he's got 8 kilometres to go, just 5 miles left. Those who watched us live on Eurosport, that stage into Montier, stage 2 of the Tour de France, when that enormous crash took place, that man Jalabert buried his face in the concrete, and he just split his teeth, he broke his mouth, he had to be fed by a drip for days, he could hardly speak, his face all blew up, he had operations on his face and his teeth. He's now back in this race, he has recovered and he's lost a bit of weight, so he's gone from being a true pure sprinter to a man who's not only can climb, not only can sprint, but today he's shown, Stephen, that he's prepared to have a go.
It is. Yesterday we seen him attacking in the finish, and people, I was saying, well, how come, why is Jalabert attacking? He surely doesn't think he's going to stay away. But this morning when I said it to him, was he becoming like brave, or what was the reason for the attack yesterday? He said, well, he wanted to see the reaction from Miguel Indurain. Would he follow him directly? Would he give him a little bit of rope, or what would happen? So he said he tried it just as a kind of a temptation, just to kind of see what the reaction from Miguel was. But this morning when he attacked, he saw the reaction of Miguel, and Miguel couldn't do very much about it, fortunately for him. He's doing an incredible ride today, as every day since the start of the Tour de France. He's doing an incredible ride every day. We are of course complimenting him every day, saying Jalabert is doing this good, Jalabert is doing that good. But when you see somebody who is in 6th place overall on GC, only 9 minutes down on Miguel Indurain, wearing the green jersey, having a go like this today, it's just great stuff.
Yeah, a lot of riders will sit in there and say, I'll protect my place, protect my jersey, and I'll ride into Paris and say, well done, Jalabert, nice green jersey up on the rostrum at the end of it all. But he's really thrown the hammer down today. He showed a lot of guts and determination this show. It took him a long time to come back from that crash last year, right until the September when he rode the Tour of Catalonia, and he won a stage victory then, and he won a couple of races that back end of last year, and since then he's got better and better. He won the Paris-Nice this year when he showed not only could he get stage victory, because he got stage 2 on that Paris-Nice race, but also when it came to the uphill time trial at the end of the Paris-Nice, he was second behind Bobrick to defend his overall position. He went on then in the Milan-San Remo to hound Fondres up the climb of the Poggio, down the other side, and beat Fondres in the sprint. So he'd opened up his season in fine style. Jalabert then went on to the Criterium International, which was on his own back door, that one. He won stage 1, he won stage 2, and he was the overall victor. And then he took 5 weeks rest after that little lot, and I don't blame him either, but he's come back with renewed activity. And I think he showed early on this year, Stephen, to win the Paris-Nice, you've been a winner of the Paris-Nice, to start the season like that man was we were looking at a new Jalabert, weren't we, in that race, because that's not an easy race by any means.
Well, the Paris-Nice being the first major stage race in the start of the year, which lasts 8 days, normally it's been said, and it's actually true, that the riders we find on form in Paris-Nice are normally the riders we find on form again in the Tour de France. But Jalabert, we thought, well, he's had a good winter, we thought, well, he's going to have a good Paris-Nice, okay, fair enough, but nobody would ever have thought that he would have come back and done so well in the Tour de France.
In the town of Mende, they're now going to have to climb up a very, very stiff climb indeed. They may have looked at on the route books, but I don't think they ever will understand how tough it's going to be. There's 12,000 people here in Mende. They live locally, and I think there's a lot more up on the mountain than ever that. So suddenly they've all swelled into this neck of the woods to see the riders come up through this ancient capital of the old country of Gabals, and it goes way back to the Middle Ages. Way down in the valley here, the little old village was formed, and now we're just 5 kilometres to go, and except the last 2 kilometres, which are relatively still dragging, the next 3 are very, very tough indeed.
They are very steep. The actual have said that it's a climb at 10%, but there are places on, I think they're more 12%, but it's a very, very difficult climb. I think that the lads here, after riding so long, it would be gear you would need probably ride, I suppose, on a 41.20, but I think today, after going for so long, this breakaway group they've been needing in 2021, Jalabert and Maori are going to be very, very tired. We see Maori still riding on the front here, doing an incredible job for Jalabert. It'll be interesting to see now how the boys on the back, like Portaglio from the GWIS team and Potenza, actually, and Perron, of course, see how Perron from the Motorola team get on, because I'm sure he's been riding, he rode earlier on with Jalabert and Maori, but hasn't ridden over the last few kilometres, so he's been saving himself, I'm sure, for this final here to try and attack.
And what a great place to have the finish then, this town which dates back to the Middle Ages. In fact, it was way back in 1790 that it was formed, and here also we have a beautiful cathedral, the Notre Dame, and down in the crypt, one of the oldest in France, is the tomb of Saint Privat. Saint Privat was the man who founded the town here, and the construction started at the start of the cathedral, at the start of the Battle of the 100 Years, and it was the Pope Urban V who was the one who originally decided that they should have a cathedral here. And now, with the battle going on for the win of the stage today, on this Bastille Day, July the 14th, the man in the green jersey, everybody at the finish line is looking anxiously down there to see if he can just hang on this climb, get the stage, and move up on general classification. Well, look at that climb. There it is, Stephen.
Yeah, you can see it there now. He is, no matter what happens, he is going to move up on GC, because Jalabert is 9 minutes down on Indurain, but he's only some 6.5 minutes down on Zule, and some only 3 minutes down on Bjorn Ries. So he is going to Jalabert's gone.
And he's dropped them. Jalabert's gone away, and the only man who's trying to stay with him then is the rider from the Gavis team, and that is Dario Bottaro, who's trying to close up on the flying Frenchman who has gone away. And this climb, though, I hope to goodness he knows what he's doing. I hope to goodness he had a look at this climb, Stephen, because it really is a gut buster.
Well, I'm sure he's had a look at it all right. The way he has attacked there, he has had a look at it all right. But look at how easy he's going after being 180 kilometres out there on the break. He wasn't just sitting on either. Maori and Neil Stevens are doing all the riding earlier on, but then for the last 50 kilometres, Jalabert has been riding himself with them. So it's an incredible ride for Jalabert as he goes under the 4 kilometre goal flag.
And he's riding up here not only to try and win the stage on Bastille Day, but to punch even more time gap between, or close the gap down between himself and Indurain. He started this morning 9 minutes and 16 seconds down. We also have to remember that Indurain's got to ride this climb as well, and every day he's had to defend that yellow jersey, hasn't he?
He has, but today I'd say we might see him doing it again, or we might even see from behind an attack from Ries, because at the same time, like Ries, he knows that Jalabert is going to be breathing down his neck for the third place, so he wanted to get some time back on Jalabert. Also, he knows also that Indurain is going to be tired mentally from the stress of having to coordinate everything during the day, and also is going to be physically tired as well.
You're watching a great epic performance by a great Frenchman on this Bastille Day. We're seeing some shots here from our cameras which can just capture for you the whole glory, the whole activity of the Tour de France. This great race, which dates back to 1903, has seen many, many epic performances. Legends have been written about the Tour de France, and today Jalabert is trying to put his name up there with those legendary riders who've taken the race by the scruff of the neck. Be prepared to attack, be prepared to go, rather than just sitting there and coast along defending their position.
This year in this Tour de France has been the invention of epics, I think, because we saw Zule doing an epic ride into La Plagne, we saw Fontani doing an epic ride up Alpe d'Huez the other day, and here we are now on an average mountain stage, which has turned out to be an incredible dynamic stage for everybody. Here's Jalabert doing another epic ride. And
remember, we've only got about 140 riders left in this race so far of the 189 that set off. We've lost now some 49 riders. Nearly 50 riders have dropped out. The sheer speed of this race, they've averaged up until yesterday 25 miles an hour for the 1,200 miles they've covered so far. That's 41 kilometres for the 1,946 kilometres they've covered, and still they're able to produce this sort of activity, this sort of effort. He's riding up here. I've seen people try to ride this hill from the bottom to the top and have not going anywhere near the speed this man's been going, and he's been out there now right the way since around about 20 kilometres. He's done nearly 200 kilometres in the lead.
It is, and he does look very, very comfortable here. The gap is 6:57, so Jalabert is going to find himself going up into third place overall on GC, because he's only some 3 minutes down on Bjorn Ries, who is 6 minutes down on Indurain. So all he needs is 3 minutes 16 seconds to move up into third place.
Well, we're doing quick calculations here then. Jalabert 9.16 this morning, and he could be well, in fact, if Zula and Rees don't climb this hill quickly indeed, find himself up there on the podium in Paris, on the podium in green. He can maybe still challenge for the yellow. This race is not all over and done with yet by any means. Jean-Marie Leblanc in the background there, in the blue jersey, blue shirt, looking back down. He said in Paris when they launched the tour this year, this was going to be a classic tour, and we're seeing a classic race. It's going round in the clockwise direction. It's been mainly in France. They've gone through the classic route of the Alps, then the Pyrenees. We've still got big mountains yet to come. But on these, what they thought were going to be so-called flatter stage, we're seeing probably even more exciting racing.
It is. So far since the start of the tour back in Saint-Brio, every day has been a classic. As Jalabert now is 3 kilometres from the finish, but only, of course, 1 kilometre, 1.5 kilometres from the top of this hill. They start sweeping down a long, fast, not very fast, but it's a long sweeping bends then up into the finish. So, bar accident now, Jalabert is going to be our stage winner.
He's looking back now, probably just to check to see if anybody's managed to come back up through those cars behind him. Jalabert took the yellow jersey on the stage 3 when we went to Perros-Guirec to Vitre. He kept the yellow jersey for a couple of days through until we went on the stage from Alençon to Le Havre. And here comes the powerhouse of the Novell team. And I still can't come. I'm going to be very interested tomorrow, Steve, when you can talk to some of the team. What the hell the taxis are doing here? There's no way there's no way that Novell should chase this one down, because they can sit there where they're coming 2 minutes down, 10 minutes down, 12 minutes down. Abdul-Jabbar can still have the same position.
Well, Abdul-Jabbar was not going to get any points today. What would have been good for them to do would have been to catch Jalabert and then somebody else get the points then on the line. But like, that should have been thought about when Jalabert went away in the first stage. But the fact that Jalabert being 6-7 minutes ahead, there's no way they're going to catch him anyway, so there's no other reason to ride except to help Indurain.
And so he's still in the lead here at the front, doing his own lonely battle. He had some superb help from his teammates further down. Neil Stevens, the Australian, absolutely buried himself to try and keep that break going that had a maximum of 10 minutes and 45 seconds. Then Mauri took over, sacrificing his chances of a position in the top 10, just to get this man in a stepping stone to maybe take him into the top 3 places overall on general classification. And that has been superb teamwork by the Onse team, who've shown this year much more determination, Steve, than we've seen them show.
Pantani's
going away.
Yeah. This is just up, like, I don't know what they're, it's like I'm just baffled, Dave. It's well, actually, it's always I'm just baffled. He's riding for what, for 4th, 5th place now.
And yeah, well, I suppose
and the rank sits up.
I mean, this climb is only a second category climb. Indurain's got to go now. Zula's on his wheel. Where is Rees? And at least now the trouble is with those 3, they can follow good climbers. Now, unless this man can break the elastic and disappear down the road, he's towing them along, isn't he?
He is, but he has to break the elastic. And Zula's going after him.
And Indurain is on
the wheel.
Whoa! Go on, you keep going. I'm as
Indurain, when Indurain puts his hands down the bottom of the bars, is when he's not in too great form. So today we could see maybe another change in the GC today. We have Rees here as well. Rees looking to have some difficulty in holding onto the wheel as well.
So this morning when they started out the overall classification, Indurain was leading.
Pantani's gone, Dave.
As Pantani is now trying to win, well, not trying to win the stage, he's trying to get up there and close the gap, but he took the stage of the Alpes in fine style. This man they called the bicycling Kojak, one of Terry Savalas has heard our commentary on that point then. Jalabert goes away, looks like he's got the victory. What will the gap be back to the yellow jersey when he finishes on the line? Getting up towards the aerodrome at the top outside Mende, where we've got this finish. I don't think we finished here before. I couldn't find any of it in the record books in the past. But Indurain now has gone up there because he's leading overall in the yellow jerseys. Pantani here struggling to stay away from Zula, second overall in classification, 2 minutes 27 seconds back on this yellow jersey. He's on the right-hand side in the pink jersey. Behind in the red with the white cross of Denmark is Bjorn Rees. They don't seem to have Rominger with him, so he's suffering now as Jalabert changes gear, gets over the top of this King of the Mountains climb here. He's just got to 2.5 kilometres to go. It's a lot flatter, but it still drags all the way. Before long, he'll be able to see the finish in the far distance at the aerodrome at the top. This is a very quick part of the course. Let's hope he's got enough left in his legs to stay away.
I'm sure he has, but Pantani now is breaking off behind them. Pantani, of course, what he's looking for is the fact that it's going up now up to the finish. If he puts a maximum amount of time into Indurain or into Zuri or into Rees, I mean, he's getting closer to a place on the podium. So that's the reason why Pantani is going. And where's Zuri, Dave?
Zula looks like he's having trouble on this climb. Yep. But also, where is Rominger? He's gone.
Yeah.
And Indurain now is tying Rees up. Rees lying third overall in classification. Of course, Rees will have to stay with him because at the moment, this morning, Jalabert was just 3 minutes and 16 seconds down on Rees. And the last time check we had meant this man Jalabert could go over Rees and take third spot. Look at this, 1 kilometre to go. He's romping home. He's going flat out. Look at this, right without the finishing straight. We can see, the crowd can see through the shimmering heat. What an exciting finish.
Yeah, this is going to be, I'm sure, 1 kilometre for Jalabert. It's going to be one very memorable kilometre. He's had an incredible stage, winning a stage on the Bastille Day in France on the 14th of July. The last guy to do it was Vincent Barteau in 1989. It's an incredible feat for himself. He's also going to put himself up at the 3rd place overall on GC.
And the sun beating down, the shadow there of Jalabert, the pedals flying round still. This man has been unburstable. He went away something before the 20 kilometre mark, so he's done about 200 kilometres on his own. That's 120 miles, and Jalabert is riding in with 5 hours and 18 minutes of racing on his belt so far. We've seen some epic performance. This has got to go in the books as one of the greatest.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the epics of Capucci in recent years. We spoke the other day about the epics of Zule. Now we have another incredible epic here, which merits to go down, which deserves to go into any book of any archives.
And here he comes
Here's
in.
Potenza coming behind him, Dave.
Yeah, Potenza then trying to cap up Billy Beast. Don't forget, there's a lot of blokes in between Jalabert and the group coming up here. Looks back over his shoulder then. He had 11 wins in 1994. He had stage winners in the Volta last year. He had that terrible crash 12 months ago when he smashed his face into the finishing straight at Montier. Now he's back with a bang. He's won the stage in the Tour de France. That's his 2nd stage victory. He won one in 1992. But I'm sure he'll stay with this one as one of the best because it's going to lift him up on general classification, probably into 3rd place, probably into 2nd. We'll have to wait and see as Provenzano comes across the line into 2nd spot. This is the man that also went away with that breakaway group that formed after some 20 kilometres of racing today on this stage 12 of the Tour de France. 222 kilometre race. Every one of these riders coming in now has ridden himself into the ground. They've given us that cracking day's racing when it could have been so dull, so boring, so unexciting, just the countryside to look at. But we see bike racing at its best here live on Eurosport in the afternoon.
And here's Mauri coming in now as well. Mauri has also done an epic ride because Mauri, since the group went away, Mauri has been riding his eyeballs out for Laurent Jalabert, only ceding some 48 seconds to him at the finish. It's an incredible ride by Mauri also.
Andre Perron, the Italian riding for the Motorola team, just couldn't stand it when Jalabert went away. He's going to come in now, another of the stalwarts in that breakaway group. Nice placing, probably the best I think we've seen so far from the Motorola team. This Italian rider coming across the line now, and 1 minute and 12 seconds, 1:13. Keep your eye on that clock down there because Jalabert start this morning 9:16 down on Indurain. He's certainly going to go past Gotti, certainly could go past Rominger. Can he take 3rd spot off Bjorn Rees, who start this morning 3 minutes and 16 seconds ahead of Jalabert? Watch that clock down left-hand side. 3:16 is the time as Pantani launched the attack from that group. Well, the Italian Pantani looks like he's being pulled back. The Italian that we just seen finishing, Andre Perron, he's done very well today considering he's 6 foot and not known as a climber. The mountain climber Pantani who won the Alpe d'Huez yesterday. You see the Spanish flags flying in the background now. For Miguel Indurain still has that yellow jersey, but the gap is coming down. So many people can attack him now. And Pantani is showing, despite that terrible hard ride he did up the Alpe d'Huez, he's still got some life left in his legs.
He has, but at the same time he's not riding away from Miguel. Miguel has him all the time in sight, so I think Miguel is actually, I won't say he's being afraid of Pantani getting too close to him before getting into Pyrenees, but he's definitely not at ease. But he probably sees now he has dropped Zule, so that's an important point for Miguel. Having Zule out of the way, we don't know how far he is behind Miguel at the moment on the stage, but dropping Zule means he's actually putting more time into a 2nd best man, because the 2nd best man will then be Rees, who will be some six minutes down. So Zule is only 2:27 down at the moment, but putting more time into Zule today is important for Indurain.
But the other thing, of course, is that Zule, with only about 7 minutes, or just under 7 minutes ahead of Jalabert, so Jalabert is closing up on Zule, who's now been dropped. If he's taken awful pacing, Jalabert could find himself certainly perhaps in 3rd spot and perhaps closing up on second as well. This race really is it's going to go on and go on and go on. So many riders are tired. You speak to them in the hotels at the end of the day. You speak to them at the village in the morning, and you just look at them in their eyes, the gaunt look on their face, and everyone is riding himself to a standstill this year.
But the amazing thing is, Dave, you go to a hotel after the race and everyone's down, very, very tired and everything else. You go to the village in the morning and everybody's all smiling and saying, oh, it's been a hard day yesterday, but wait and see what happens today. So
but you look at the faces, how gaunt they are, Stephen. You know, you can see it, can't you, eh?
Oh, you do. As Platani looks over his shoulder here and says, well, there's no point in flogging a dead horse. I'll wait for Indurain and get onto their wheel. Possibly, I'm sure, a little disappointed the fact that he didn't actually ride off Miguel off his wheel, but then the climb is only 3 kilometres long.
And it's not his sort of climb, because he flattens out now. You can see the airfield in the background. That long shot showed you where everybody's gathered here then to celebrate a great day. I can see Jean-Marie Leblanc in the finishing area here with the cameras all round about him, keeping his cool, because undoubtedly on the 14th of July to have a Frenchman win the stage, and it was no fix. Nobody said, here's a little gift, here's a little gift, go and win on the 14th of July. And I'm sure that Jacques Chirac will get the message back at the President's Palace as well. But interesting enough, we start this morning at Saint-Etienne, where I saw that there was some frames there made by André Sablière. He got some in Dural. He supplied bikes to Fignon in the past. He supplied to many top racing sides. He's also supplied a bike to Jacques Chirac. So I don't think Jacques will go out for a ride his bike tonight as the President, but I'm sure he'll be elated the fact that we've actually got a French victory on Bastille Day.
Well, you can be sure Laurent Jalbert will be getting a telegram from Jacques Chirac tonight.
And there we are then with the Terry Savalas of cycling wedged in between the big figure of Indurain and the big figure of Bjorn Ries. He's now, I think, thankfully going to take a toe from these two, because he's only a little chap, and these big fellas here. And of course what Ries is trying to do is to drive some more time and to close up on Zulla, because he knows Zulla's gone, and he's quite happy now to tow Indurain towards the finish, isn't he?
Well, he is, but at the same time he knows that Jalabert is at this moment 5 minutes and 3 seconds ahead. Well, he know the last time break he would have been 7 minutes. So what he wants to do is cut down as much time as he can on Jalabert to ensure himself a place in the first 3, whether it be second or third.
And we're looking now to see them come across the finish line. We're going to write that time down to check to see where Jalabert is likely to be on the general classification, as these giants of the road battle it out then, as Ries fighting his way through, trying to get every vital second back. Miguel Indurain is quite happy just to sit there. He doesn't mind losing the odd 1 or 2 seconds. And Pantani fighting his way through. The little devil himself trying to come in here just ahead of the two big hitters, and he's done it. Jalabert's
taken 3rd place anyway, so now will he be able to get 2nd place from Zule? Zule is at 2:27, it's 7 minutes, about 6 minutes and 50 seconds.
Well, Zula coming in here.
6:50 has to get 2nd place.
And it's going to be, he's not going to quite get it, 5:58.
Yeah, so I mean Jalabert will be in 3rd place now, some 15 20 seconds behind Zule.
And here comes Claudio Chiappucci on the far right hand side. He's getting the Rominger thumping his way in here as well. What a race we've had today. The shimmering heat of the aerodrome, and launched itself.
Brochard, Escartin, Rominger and Gotti.
So they really are coming in penny numbers today. This has been a tough old day in this race.
There's Chiappucci now at the moment coming in with Johan Brunel. And Virenque was got blown out, Dave.
It just shows you how hard it has been today. There's also another group then, Lodinho Cobino of the Calme team drifts across the line. They're going to be coming in for an awful long time yet by the looks of the speed of that final attack up from the town of Mende, just down the valley. And it's probably going to take an awful long time to get down there. Fortunately, the press office is up here in the aerodrome building, because the number of people that were on there with their motor cars, they were breaking down, they were steaming, they had great difficulty getting their cars up the slope. It was a fair old ride today, though, for Jalabert, that won the stage and moved up on general classification. So you can see that the best lead they had was over 10 minutes, and that's Jesper Skibby, I think, in the centre. Little lad, is he coming in here on his nice yellow bike there. The rest of the Once team will be happy with that one, that they've got the stage victory, and they have certainly seen their man in the green move even further. For Machia, for the Motorola team, well, he let his man Pellon go. They've been really having a go all day today. Armstrong had to go, then Pellon had to go. Now Machia coming in 7 minutes and 39 seconds down on the victor. Not far behind Indurain, so Machia this morning, 17th overall, 19:42. Will be about the same. Also Brunel in that little group as well. So a lot of these riders, the general classification, except for Jalabert, may not change too many. Most of the top men have been coming in, but certainly Varane looked like he was struggling today.
Here's Abdul coming in now.
He's great, isn't he? I mean, he's not a mountain climber. He's going to come in, what, about 8 minutes down on Jalabert, who's lost a lot of weight. And
he's only coming in at 4 minutes down on Indurain, which is not bad.
It does not
less than 4 minutes even.
And so I think he's quite right to keep his powder dry, because the battle for the green jersey is not all over by any means, because Jalabert's going to be a difficult position. Does he challenge for the yellow or just stay with the green? Today he showed like he's more interested in going for the yellow, didn't he?
Well, Jalabert, what he's trying to do is, his tactics of today was to put Indurain under pressure, and then maybe Zule would have a go on the last on the last climb, but Zule unfortunately hadn't got the legs, as we saw him getting dropped by Indurain, but he only lost less than a minute on Indurain, so it wasn't too bad. I'm sure he still hasn't really recovered from his epic ride the other day into La Plana.
Confirmation then that Jalabert now moved up into third spot, 3:35 down on Indurain. Zula is at a race lost out today. He's now fourth, 6 minutes down. Maori moved up into fifth spot, 7 minutes 56 seconds down. This morning he was eighth. So really they've shaken the dice today. The kaleidoscope has brought a whole new different ball bag of colours here at the finish at the aerodrome just above the town of Mende. And look at this man, Jalabert, Abdul. Yeah, what a character, isn't he? He's not built like a clown, but he really, he just rides on guts, doesn't he?
He does, yes. Many riders like himself would have abandoned for this stage, but Abdul just keeps going on and on and on. Just wants to get to Paris, maybe win a stage between now and then.
That is the overall provisional classification on your screen at the moment. We'll let you know if there's any change in that when we come on air tomorrow. You can watch it on Eurosport News. We're watching this evening. We watch the slow motion replay here of Jalabert, a man who really today has had a tremendous year so far, having started the season by winning the Pyrenees, but he's gone better and better today.
So this is surely the picture that will be on the front of every newspaper in France on Saturday. Laurent Jalabert winning the stage of the Tour de France on July the 14th, Bastille Day, and also moving up to a very interesting indeed third place in the overall standings. And speaking in Spanish to Spanish TV, Jalabert said that at the beginning of the breakaway he wasn't sure if the gamble would come off, because for the first 20 kilometers he and Bettario had only 30 seconds. Then he saw the attacks of his teammates, first Melchior Mauri, and then they took an advantage. They saw a group coming with Neil Stevens and decided to wait for them, because they were sure that if there were three of them, they could ride well together. Jalabert was asked if he could have done it without Melchior Mauri. The Frenchman said he was the winner of the stage, but that he had to divide it by two, because Mauri did some great work and that he doesn't know how to thank him. So Jalabert wins from Podenzana, 30 seconds back. Bottaro, then came Mauri, the hero of the day, as well as Jalabert for the Once team. Then Perron, then Pantani leading in the group with Rees and Indurain. Alex Zula a little further back. Indurain strengthening his lead, but he now has two men of the Once team behind him. As for the rest of the race, Jalabert said he was going to continue to ride day by day and to see what happens on every stage. He said he rode today without thinking about the overall standings, and that allowed him to win the stage and to get nearer to those leading positions. He says he has to continue like that, even though he knows now it'll be almost impossible to break away again. So Miguel Indurain with another hard day out on the road. He's still in yellow. He leads now by 2 minutes and 44 seconds from Alex Zula. Jalabert in third. Bjarne Riis now in fourth place, 6 minutes back. Then Melchior Mauri slowly moving up the overall standings. We're moving towards the Pyrenees, and Indurain's hard work is far from over. On Saturday, the race continues its trek towards the Pyrenees. It's live here on Eurosport. Why not join David Duffield and Stephen Roach to see if Indurain has another hard day or not?